Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. Yes, children, welcome back to today's session. Yes, in our last few videos, we are studying about the plant breeding techniques, right? And also we discussed about disease-resistant plants raised by the plant breeding technique, and also we discussed about high yield giving varieties raised by plant breeding, right? So in today's class we are continuing our study about disease resistant plants raised by the plant breeding. So what were the two techniques we discussed about the disease resistant plants? So what are the techniques used in order to raise the disease resistant plants? So two techniques we have studied, right? One is conventional breeding technique and another one is mutation breeding, right? So we already know about the steps involved in the conventional breeding method, right? So in the conventional breeding method, in the first step, they will collect the varieties of plants available in the particular species, and in the next step they will select the parents, then hybridization, then the selection of hybrid plant and testing and release of the new cultivar. So these are the some important steps followed in the conventional breeding techniques, right? So there was some limitations observed in the conventional breeding techniques, right? So because of those limitations, breeders switched over to the mutation breeding in order to raise the better crop, right? So what was the limitations observed in the conventional breeding technique? Why they switched over to the mutation breeding? So that limitation of conventional breeding technique is the availability of disease resistant genes are very less, right? So when we short off the disease resistant plants, so there is a one alternative method we have, that is to raise the disease resistant plant, right? So the available disease resistant plants are very less, right? So when the plants are very less, the resistant gene availability is also less, right? So one alternative method they searched in order to raise the disease resistant plant is by mutation. So by using the mutation, it is possible to raise the disease resistance plants. So let us now see how these varieties, that means the better crop variety raised by the mutation, right? So mutation is nothing but what? Sudden heritable change. So mutation is a process by which the genetic variations are created through changes in the base sequence within gene, right? What do you mean by this? So you take any organism, whether it may a plant or animal. So each and every character in that particular organism is expressed because of the gene, right? So gene is nothing but it consists of alleles, pair of alleles, and those alleles consist of base sequences, right? So when we change the base sequence of gene, it is possible to change the genetic makeup of that particular organism, right? So when we are changing the base sequences, that means that we are changing the genetic makeup of that organism, so that some genetic variations occurs in the organism, right? So that is what called as mutation. So by means of mutation, we are changing the genetic makeup of the organism by changing the base sequence within the gene. How it is possible? Is it possible by any physical processes? Right. So the genetic makeover can be made by two different things. So one is by using radiations, it is possible, and another one is by using some of the chemicals. So when we pass some of the radiations on the gene, it is possible to change the base sequence of that particular gene, right? Say for example, they will use gamma radiations. So when they pass the gamma radiation, the genetic sequence, that means the base sequence of the gene will get changes, right? So after this, after the mutation, they will search the plant for the desired character. That means not all plants obtained after the mutation are desired plants, right? So they will search for the desired plant, and that desired plant can be directly used in the crop plant in order to raise the better yield. Or sometime what they will do is they will use that plant raised by the mutation in order to raise the crop varieties in the conventional breeding, right? So they can use the plant raised by the mutation in the normal conventional breeding techniques, or they can use the plant directly in the crop plant, right? Yes. So mutation can be created artificially by the use of some chemicals or radiations. So these genetic makeover can be possible by use of some chemicals, or it is possible by use of some radiations, right? So this kind of mutation is known as mutation breeding. So this technique, this breeding technique, what they are using to raise the better crop, that method is called as mutation breeding. Clear? And the plant obtained as a result of mutation breeding is having desirable characters, and that because of that desirable character, the plant can be used in the plant breeding method, right? So most of the wild variety of crop plant available in different species are resistant to disease. So because they habited to wild, so they got that ability. That means they have the resistant gene. So because of that gene, they are a disease resistant plant, right? So it is not possible to directly bring those plants for cultivation, because one of the drawback of the wild variety of plants is they are very less yield giving plant. So they give very low yield. So this is one of the drawback, right? But our aim is to get more yield and disease resistant plant, right? So by conventional breeding technique, it is possible to raise the disease resistant new crop variety by using the wild variety of plant as a parent, right? So some of the wild crop varieties were selected as a parent in order to raise the disease resistant plant. So one of the best example of disease resistant plant raised by using the wild variety plant as a parent is in the bindi plant. So bindi plant is called by the another name, that is okra. Okra is a common name of bindi plant. So this plant was very prone to the yellow mosaic disease. Clear? Yellow mosaic disease is a viral disease, right? So by crossing the normal crop variety of bindi with the wild variety, they raise the disease resistant plant. So that plant got resistant to yellow mosaic virus. Clear? So from where we transfer the resistant gene to the bindi plant? Yes, from the wild species, right? So one of the wild species they selected for transferring the resistant gene to the plant. So as a hybridization, as a result of hybridization, the progeny obtained is resistant to yellow mosaic virus. Clear? So that new variety raised is named as Parbhani Kranti. So Parbhani Kranti is the new variety, disease resistant variety raised in the bindi plant. So what is the scientific name of the bindi plant? Scientific name is Abelmoschus esculentus. So Abelmoschus esculentus is the scientific name of bindi plant. So in this species, they have raised one of the disease resistant plant, that is got resistant against the yellow mosaic virus. That species is named as Prabhani Kranti. So Prabhani Kranti is the disease resistant variety raised in the okra plant. So far we have studied about the disease resistant plants raised by plant breeding technique. So now we are moving to one more very important part of this lesson, that is plant breeding for developing resistant to insect pest, right? So it is possible to raise the insect resistant plant by plant breeding method, right? So we all know that insects are the major cause for large scale destruction of crop plant, right? There are different varieties of insects are there. They come and feed on different part of the plant. Some they feed on the stem, some they damage root, some they eat leaves. So like this, by feed on different part of the plant, they drastically reduces the yield. So the yield obtained is of poor quality, and sometimes the plants are not able to produce the grains, right? So because of this, the insects and pests are the major cause for the great loss taking place in the crop field, right? So how to get rid from these insects and pests? So commonly the farmers will spray insecticides in order to avoid these insects. Clear? So for that the farmers has to invest money for purchasing those chemicals, right? So instead of that, one of the alternative method they have is use of the resistant plant to insect and pest, right? Some of the plants we can see they have naturally got resistant against some of the insects. So it may be due to some morphological character, biochemical character, or physiological character. So maybe due to these reasons, some of the plants have got resistant to some insects and pests, right? So the best example we can see here is airy leaves in plants associated with insect resistance. So you might have seen in some of the plant, the leaf consists of airy structures. So small air-like structure will be there all over the leaf. So it give a protection to the plant against the insect. So the best example in the cotton plant. So have you seen the cotton plant? On the surface of leaf we can see a small airy structure, right? So this character actually gave resistant to the plant against the jacids. So jacids are nothing but insects. So jacids are small leaf hoppers, right? So when their number is more, they actually feed on the leaf and they damage the crop plant, right? So in the cotton plant, we can see the small airy leaves. So because of this, they have got resistant against the jacids. So jacid group of insects, they won't attack the cotton leaves, right? This is one morphological character. Because of this, some of the plant have got resistant against the insect. And one more example we can see here, the solid stem in wheat non preference by the stem sawfly. So stem sawfly is one kind of insect, right? So it usually attack the soft stemmed plant. So if the stem is very soft, that kind of stem is attacked by the stem sawfly. But in the wheat plant we can see the stem is very solid. So because of this nature, the wheat stem actually not attacked by the stem sawfly, right? So this is one uh, character what can be seen in the wheat plant. So because of this, the stems of fly won't attack the stem of wheat plant, right? And one more this thing example we have here. This is you can take for the biochemical nature of the plant. Understood? So in the maize plant, it produces high aspartic acid and less nitrogen and sugar content. So these are some biochemical nature of the maize plant. So it produces high aspartic acid and less nitrogen and sugar content. So because of this nature, the maize stem is not attacked by the stem borers. So otherwise, if these chemicals are not going to released in the maize plant, the stem borer are going to easily attack the stem, right? So these are the examples we can see. Because of these characters, natural characters, they have got resistant against some sorts of insects, right? So by seeing these characters in the plant, the breeders have got some idea to raise the pest resistant plants by using plant breeding method, right? So it is possible to raise the insect resistant plant by using conventional breeding method, or it can be raised by a mutation breeding, right? So usually these two methods are used in the plant in order to raise the insect resistant plants, right? So we already know in the conventional breeding we use some of the common step, that is the collection of pair variability. It may be a wild variety or it may be a available domestic varieties, and the second step is selection of parents, and the third step is hybridization, and the fourth step is selection of hybrid plant, and the final step is testing and release of new cultivar. So these are the common steps in the conventional breeding method. So for doing the conventional breeding, always we have to select the appropriate parents, right? So by selecting the appropriate parents which are resistant to gene, they actually raise the better crop, better progeny that is resistant to insect, right? So let us see some of the example of plant raised by the plant breeding technique. They are resistant to insect. Is what is the source of resistance gene to raise insect resistance plant? So without resistance gene, it is not possible to raise the resistance plant, right? So some of the sources I have listed here. So one such source is cultivated varieties. So some of the cultivated crops what are available nowadays, among those, some of the plants are showing resistance to insect, right? So we have to select those plant and we can derive the resistance gene from them. So this is one source, and the another source is germplasm collection of the crop. So what do you mean by germplasm collection? So germplasm collection is a place where we can see the diverse allele of a particular gene related to a given crop, right? So in the germplasm collection, we have all possible alleles of a given gene, so that we can search for the resistance gene there. This is a one source, and the last one is wild relatives. So what are the cultivated crops we have? All those cultivated crops, they have their wild ancestors, right? So we have to search for the resistant plant, insect resistant plant in the wild relatives for deriving the resistance gene, right? So these are the different sources from where we can get the resistance gene, right? So after collecting the resistance gene from these sources, we can insert the resistance gene directly into the plant to raise the resistance plant, right? So for that they will use recombinant DNA technology. So that is one way of raising the insect resistance plant. And another way is we can go with the conventional breeding method. So for that we have to select the parent that is showing resistance to insect, right? And after selecting the parent, we have to follow some of the steps what we have already studied in the plant breeding technique. So those steps are nothing but the conventional breeding steps, right? So by following all those steps, we can raise the hybrid plant that is actually resistant to insect and pest, right? So these are the some ways the breeders use to raise the insect resistance plant. So either we can raise the resistant plant by using plant breeding, conventional plant breeding method, or it can be also done by advanced techniques like recombinant DNA technology. But in this lesson we are studying about, we are focusing on the resistant plants raised by conventional breeding methods, right? So what are the advantages of this resistance plant? So without resistant plant, the farmers has to spend lots of money for purchasing insecticides. Clear? Because the insects number can be reduced only by spraying the insecticides, right? So when the farmers are using insect resistant plant, they can save the money what they are spending for purchasing the insecticides, because the insect resistance plant, they are strong enough to prevent the insect. Clear? So this is the one advantage what the farmers will get by using insect resistance plant. So now let us study some of the examples of insect resistant plant raised by plant breeding techniques. Yes, here we go with the hybrid plants for insect pest resistance. Clear? So this is the tabular column, very important for the point of examination. So in this tabular column we can see the improved variety raised by plant breeding technique to insect pest, right? So you can see the three columns in the tabular column. In the first column they have given the different kinds of crops, and in the second column you can see the improved variety raised by the plant breeding technique, and in the third column you can see the insect pest. So with respect to this insect and pest, they have raised the improved variety of crop. Understood? Yes. Let us have a look into the first crop, that is brassica. So the brassica is commonly called as rapeseed mustard. So this is the common name of brassica. So in this crop, the improved variety was raised, that is actually got resistant to insect pest. What is the name of that variety? Yes, the name is Pusa Gaurav. So Pusa Gaurav is the improved variety of brassica. Actually this is got resistance to aphids. So aphids are the kind of insects, like they are the bugs, small bugs, right? So they feed on the plants by sucking sap. So they suck the sap from the plant. So by this the plant suffer from the deficiency of nutrition, so that by this we get less yield. Clear? So that in the brassica, by using plant breeding technique, they raised one of the improved variety that is showing resistant to aphids. The name of that variety is Pusa Gaurav, right? Yes, let us move on to the second crop, that is flat bean. So in the flat bean we can see the improved variety, that is one improved variety is Pusa Sem 2 and the second one is Pusa Sem 3. So these two varieties got resistant against jassids, aphids and fruit borers. So these are the different kinds of insects. So jassids are the small leaf hoppers, aphids are the bugs, then fruit borers, they actually feed on fruits, right? So against these insects, Pusa Sem 2 and Pusa Sem 3 got resistance. And the third and last crop is okra. So okra common name is bindi. So in the okra, the improved variety is Pusa Savani. This is one improved variety. And the another improved variety is Pusa A4. So these two are the improved varieties of okra plant. So these two got resistance to shoot and fruit borers. Right, children? So these are the some improved varieties of plants. They are actually raised by the plant breeding technique. Clear? By hybridization and selection, these varieties were raised, and now these crops were used in the farmland in order to get good yield. Right?